Hello, how's everyone doing? My name's Ben, and I'm here today to talk to you about the great shift that we have coming up here soon, on specifically on December 21st of this year. So, just offering a few of my insights about what I think is going to happen and what this is all about. So essentially what this is about, it's about a shift from 3D to 5D, as we like to say, or in other words, the third density to the fifth density. And while that may sound like a bunch of gibberish to some of you, but essentially what it is there are two primary states of consciousness. The third density is what we've all been familiar with on this planet for a long time. It's primarily fear-based, survival-based, ego-based, based in separation. The idea that I am this little me inside my little body, and I've got to protect myself from everyone else in the world and everything else. And there's threats all around me, and I gotta fight back against everyone, and I gotta defend myself, and I gotta defend my viewpoints and my ideas, and I gotta get everything from me, and it's all like me, ego. And again, the primary motivator behind this is fear of scarcity, of not having enough, fear of unworthiness, of not being enough. But what we're moving into, as I'm sure many of you have already had a taste of so far, is what we call the fifth density consciousness. And that one is not based in fear and ego. That one is based in an expanded awareness of our inherent oneness with each other and all things. And when we realize our inherent oneness, there's no need to be afraid. There's no need to protect ourselves from anyone else, because everyone and everything else is ultimately just a reflection of ourselves. And in this state of consciousness, we realize that the universe always provides for us everything that we need that is in alignment with the frequency that we are currently resonating at. So in other words, it's living beyond the illusion of separation, and beyond the illusion that there's this threat that's just around the corner that's out to get us. In the 5D, we realize that just isn't true. And what this means is that it's all more based on our thoughts and our imaginations, because we realize that if the entire world is just a reflection of our internal state, then we can change ourselves first and foremost, and then experience that change in the external world. So it's going to be about putting our thoughts and our feelings and our imaginations at the forefront of our reality, and essentially making that more real than anything else in the external world. We're not going to be letting the external world dictate our internal state and our internal reality anymore. And while I don't think that we'll completely be rid of the third density, I think the fifth density will it'll be more of expanded awareness to something that's always been there, but we haven't really been able to tap into. So we're going to be living primarily from this fifth density state of consciousness, all the while still acknowledging and still existing to some degree in the physical, the third density, which is more, again, it's more physical, it's more limited. So you can think of that as like the limitations of our bodies, for example. You know, like I just want to just for an example, I want to put out the example of in our physical bodies, there's certain limitations. We can't fly yet, or at least we haven't learned how to. But in the fifth density, in our minds, we can create this reality in our minds, and that can influence our third dimensional reality at the same time. So, just I'm just using my imagination right now. Like, if I'm thinking, if I want to fly, let's, make that happen. And if I think about it and I feel it and I focus on it, we can come up with crazy new ways of experiencing human flight. It could be through technology, it could be, but it could also be through being aware of our non-physical being. For example, there's through the phenomenon of out-of-body experiences and astral projection. When this happens, it's a separation of our energetic body from our physical body, and we can do some of these things that we can't do in our physical body. Like I haven't had an out of body experience in a while, but I remember when I had before, I was able to experience like putting my hand through a wall, or like flying through the roof and like flying around above my house. Of course, when I remembered my physical body, I immediately got sucked back in. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. We're experiencing less of these physical limitations on our realities and our ways of being. And this all ties into everything that's been going on in the world lately. And especially the big thing that's been going on this year, which I'm not going to name directly because YouTube's policy won't allow you to talk about it, or else it'll try to censor your video. So, you all know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to talk about it indirectly. But basically, the powers that be in this world are aware that we are waking up, but they rely on our ignorance and on our fear in order to survive. And many of these powers have ties to many of the major corporations in the world. For example, pharmaceutical corporations, those in the healthcare business. And we've been in this model of healthcare for so long of thinking that our bodies are something that need to be feared, that need to be fixed. And we have all types of medications and other medical interventions to try to fix our bodies, and essentially to not have to experience unwellness or pain or anything like that. But what they don't want us to know is that sickness, pain, physical sensations is all trying to communicate with us, and even through physical pain or emotional pain, it's all here to serve our growth, and it's our body's way of communicating with us, and through experiencing illness, pain, whatever, we learn to and accepting it and not trying to hide from it, not trying to run away from it. We ultimately learn how to transcend it and reach higher levels of consciousness to where these things won't affect us anymore. And in many ways, in every way, we're more expanded because of this experience. And that's what's going on in the world right now. Everyone is living in fear of it, but what they're ultimately doing is they're stunting their own growth. They're hiding from the inevitable, and they're choosing to live in fear instead of just allowing it, experiencing it, and ultimately transcending it and experiencing these higher levels of consciousness, because once you transcend it, you don't fear it anymore. So essentially that's what, this is what's going on in the world right now. And again, we have a really big day coming up on the 21st. It's the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, and it marks the end of. Many say it's the true end of the Mayan calendar. I don't know how it all works, but apparently there is some mistake or something like that with 2012, where it didn't really pan out the way it was supposed to. But upon recalculations, apparently this is the new 2012, and this December 21st is the end of it, and we're going to be entering into this new, many call it the age of Aquarius, but this transition into fifth dimensional consciousness. And this can be a very rough transition for those who haven't done the work to achieve this level of awareness, but for those who have, this can be an absolutely wonderful time. So I, for one, am looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So with that being said, I appreciate you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.